Okay, so once you have an account on LCC, the next step is going to be actually logging into the cluster so that you can start using it. Now, a cluster is different from like a normal laptop or desktop that you're used to. With a laptop or desktop, you're actually sitting in front of the machine, you have a keyboard and a mouse, and you're working away and everything's in front of you. With the supercomputer, it's different because you're not actually going to sit in front of the supercomputer to work on it. You can log into it using your existing laptop or desktop from wherever you are. As long as you have an internet connection, you can be at home, at work, it doesn't matter. You'll be able to log into our supercomputer. Now, if you're off campus, you'll have to use a VPN, but that's a topic for another video. If you're on Linux or Mac, then you'll have a terminal emulator built in already. You can look up how to launch the terminal on Mac or Linux. If you're a Windows user, you're going to need to download a terminal emulator. Now, we have one that we use a lot in the center called MobaXterm. And in this video, I'm going to actually show you how to download and get running with MobaXterm and get logged into the cluster. Now, regardless if you're using Windows, Mac, or Linux, we also provide another option called Open OnDemand. And at the end of the video, I'll demonstrate how to use that as well. So these are all different options for logging into the cluster. Now, using Windows, open up a web browser like Firefox or Edge or Google Chrome, whatever you use, and go to google.com. And then in the search box, I want you to type MobaXterm, and press enter. And the first search result should be the correct one, MobaXterm free X server and tabbed SSH client for Windows. So this is what you want. And they already provide a download link under the Google search here, so I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And that brings you to this page. And now there's a home edition and a professional edition. You get some more features if you want to pay for the program, but the free edition is totally fine for everything that we need. So we're just going to download the free edition. So hit download now. That's going to bring you to this page, and you have two download options here. You have a portable edition and an installer edition. Now, the difference between the two is that the installer edition is actually going to install MobaXterm on your laptop or desktop, whatever you're using. And so you're going to need to be an administrator or have administrative rights if you install this. If you're using a personal laptop or desktop, I would just say go ahead with this option. But if you're using a shared desktop like I'm using right now and you don't have administrative privilege, you can download the portable edition, which is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this to download that and hit save file. And I'll put it in downloads. Now, the portable edition is also nice because if you're traveling between, going to conferences and you need to use conference desktops, or maybe you're going over to a friend's house and you want to use their machine and they don't have MobaXterm installed, you can just put MobaXterm portable edition on a flash drive, and you can insert that into any Windows desktop or laptop, and you'll have your whole environment right there with you. So it really is portable in that sense. So it looks like the download is finished. So I'm going to go ahead and in the Windows search bar, type downloads so that I can pull up the downloads directory. Okay, I'll press enter. So here's the zip file that we just downloaded. I'm going to go ahead and right click and say extract all, and I'll just put it here, and that's fine. Now, if you're doing this at home, you'll probably want to put it somewhere else where it won't accidentally get deleted, and you'll want to remember wherever you put it. But for this video, I'm just going to do it in downloads. Now, once it's extracted, you'll see this MobaXterm Personal. You want to go ahead and double click on that and say run. And that's actually going to launch the program. So you can see it's loaded up here now. I'm going to full screen it. And there's tons of settings and things you can play around with in here. For this video, I'm just going to go to settings, terminal, and I'm going to increase this font size to 16 so that you can see it better on the video, and hit OK. You don't have to do that at home if you don't want. So otherwise, we're ready to go. All we do here is hit start local terminal right here in the middle. And at this point, we're in a unified environment. So from this point forward, if you're on Mac or Linux or Windows, as long as you have a terminal emulator open, which we do now, all the commands are going to be exactly the same, regardless of platform. So to actually log into the cluster, we're going to use a program called SSH. So you type SSH space. Now you're going to give your link blue ID. So we have a special link blue ID called HPC test MC. You'll put your link blue ID here. It's probably like 3 or 4 letters followed by 3 numbers or something like that. Then you put an @ sign, and now you need to specify the host name of the cluster. Now we have a host name lcc.uky.edu, and this will actually randomly pick one of our 6 available login nodes, 6 as the time of this video. That may change in the future. But those are all identical. You don't need to worry about it. Just type this command and press enter, and you'll be on your way. So it's asking for my password, so I'll go ahead and type that in. And if it asks you to accept the RSA key, just go ahead and do that. It didn't ask in that case. I'm not going to save my password. And at this point, we're logged into the cluster. You can see down here it shows HPC test MC at login 1. Now login 1 is the name of one of our login nodes. So each time you log in, this may change. It may be login 1, login 3, login 6. It doesn't matter though, all of our login nodes are identical. So I'm logged into the cluster now, and I can go on and start running commands, looking around, and this is where you're going to start writing your job scripts and running jobs, which will be topics for another video. Now, to conclude things here, I'm going to show you another way to do this. If you don't want to get a terminal emulator, or you don't have access to one for some reason, you can also just straight use a web browser. So I'm going to pull Firefox back up. Now from a web browser, if you go to this host name, ood.ccs.uky.edu, and press enter, a box is going to pop up asking you to authenticate. I'm going to authenticate again as that same user that I just did inside the terminal. Okay, I accidentally typed my password incorrectly, so let me try that again. Okay, and so now we're logging in, and it's actually going to spin up a website that has the ability to log into our cluster. Now, OnDemand, this tool that we're looking at, actually has a lot of features, and you can do a lot of things graphically, but we'll cover that in another video. For this video, we're just going to show you how to use the built-in terminal emulator. So once you're logged in, if you click Clusters and click Lipscomb Compute Cluster Shell Access, and now it's actually launched a shell, which is the same thing that you saw a minute ago, except now we are inside the web browser. You don't have to download any additional software in order to do this. And you'll notice I happen to get login node 3 this time. So with that being said, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope this helps you get logged in and get started on your research. Take care.